today, Rose City, Michigan at Moore's Truck and Trailer. This is Dave Moore. He's the one that builds our chip vans for us, and he's just going to kind of show everything what we do. I know there's been a lot of questions about how our trailers are built, so he's the man that does it.
How do you do? I'm Dave Moore. They're hand built from scratch. This particular frame is 11 years old. It was built 11 years ago. It was recycled, sandblasted, painted, all the honeydews on it. Truthfully, this one was the sweetest one I did because there wasn't a crack in it. This was one of the finest frames.
We bought this one 11 years ago from Dave. So just getting a whole new box on it.
We started with just the rails and the axles. The rails, 19 pound per foot, 10 inch by 19. Has Page air lifts on it. It's a 7 axle. It was 50 foot when we started. It's now 53 foot. So we stretched it front, back. You know, we had to stretch the frame in the front.
Then show them how you build the fifth wheel plate and tie it all together.
We added the frame from here to there. And then this is called an upper coupler reinforcement plate. It takes a lot of stress off this outer rail. From here up there, it takes some stress off the lower rail. Something I designed 20 years ago. And several companies have kind of copied me now.
And also this one we put our pin at 24 inches. And we've been playing with that. We've had them at 18 and some are 3 foot, but that puts too much weight on your drive. So this one is 2 foot.
The trailer is 110 inches inside, 53 foot long. It's got 8 vents in it, which is plenty, 12-inch vents. Removable, they're unboltable. You can unbolt them and change the inside once the screen gets damaged, which doesn't happen very often, I guess.
No,
I don't hear from nobody.
No.
We've got a 1/4-inch plastic floor in it for sliding. The air system, most people use individual boxes for the air system. I choose to use one box and all 4 in one box.
For each air axle. That's a control for each air axle. There's 4 on this trailer.
Yep.
And then how many air tanks are on this trailer too?
I believe it's 7.
7?
I believe it's 7, yep.
It takes a lot of air to lift these axles and put them back down when you turn corners. And then you got a heavy rail on the side. You explain that, and your side walls are 1 inch.
Yep, the walls are now 1 inch. The old days, the freight boxes that run up and down the road are 3/4 inch, and I built many of these out of freight boxes.
Yep.
And this is the first one that's 1 inch, and it only weighs 600 pounds more than previous, so I think we're going to be real happy with it.
And then this is a taller frame rail here too.
Yeah.
That for
that
the
helps.
side rail, that's a lot different than a regular freight box.
That helps. And we've got a bumper on it that you can pull till the train that comes in. You ain't going to pull it off. It's all 1/2 inch thick. Light boxes.
Then explain how you build the roofs on these too.
The ceilings are 1 foot center roof bows, which on a regular freight box are 24 inches. Some places they're closer, 10 inch. But then there's 16 gauge steel front to back for the chipper to beat on.
Yeah, that's where the chips to glide on.
The front wall is 1/8 inch thick, so they can beat on that wall all they want. And then we've got the 1/4 inch plastic to make it slippery.
And then on top of the roof bows, you have another roof skin on top of that.
Yes, there's aluminum smooth roof on the top.
Yep. And then your side rail up on the top is heavier than a normal trailer too.
Yeah.
Right? Yep.
Yep.
And then the whole sides of the back is all reinforced. It's a lot tougher. It's all tube steel for your door frame to set in. So when you're coming out of the woods and the trailer's rocking back and forth, the trailer isn't twisting. It's staying pretty stout.
Yeah, that's all 5/16 tubing in the top.
Yep.
Versus 3/16 or 1/4 from the factory.
And then these are the doors you're building for them.
This door allows you to blow, only have to open one on location and blow in. Which allows maximum capacity.
Yeah, that's the half door there.
So that's the loading position. They load it like that. And then they've got no problem closing this one because there's no weight against it.
And them doors are all made out of 2-inch tubing for the frame. And that's a 1/4-inch wall. Correct?
Tubing, 3/16.
3/16. And then what's this here?
14 gauge.
Okay.
That's all 14 gauge.
So your doors are really well built. They hold up well in the woods. We've never had no troubles with them.
Everything on the air system is new. New brake valves, new lift valves, new quick releases, new traction protection, new air tanks. Everything is color coded. If you put this over your pit, take a look at it. I mean, you might find some spots where they missed a little paint, but you'll be pretty proud of my plumbing system. I got her pretty organized.
Well, the other thing is we need to tell them too, Dave, is we're putting a Rayco cast suspension on these. There's 3 down axles that are permanently down. And we've had very good luck with these. In fact, some of these are still original hangers and stuff from the first trailer that you built for us.
Mm-hmm.
And so, can you explain the difference between this and like a through-off suspension?
That's the Rayco 21B cast, and these are 3-leaf, I believe.
Springs are
Yeah,
3.
these are 3-leaf springs, where Rayco, some folks will ask you to use the 14 or the 1-leaf spring, single-leaf spring, which is still rated at 14,000, same as this spring.
Mm-hmm.
So some people do that, but the minute you go in the woods and break that one, you're in trouble.
Yep.
So if you use the 3 and you break the mid one or something, you know, you can get home.
Yep.
So that's why I like to use the 3-leaf. The axles that we chose years ago was the big bearing through-off axles, which these are round with the big bearings, so they're clones, but they work fine. And then the turning radius is excellent because we've got the 3 here
Yep.
and the 2 in the rear lifting now. It's too good a turning radius for some drivers.
Yep.
But you own how many trailers?
7.
And they're all mine, so I'm
They're all
pretty
your
darn
trailers,
proud of that.
yeah. And we're real happy with them.
I'm pretty proud of that.
And then these are heavy-duty dollies on these too.
Holland Mark 5s.
Yep.
Is normally what's on them. Yep. 3/8 fifth wheel plate.
Yeah, that's heavier than a normal plate too.
And stand over there and watch the airlifts. I'll throw the airlifts down and you'll see some pretty fast action. Ready?
Yep.
Yep, go for it.
The air valve that I use is a Mac valve. I've used valves 20 different brands and it's been the best. They've got 3/8 ports in it rather than 1/4-inch ports. You can move more air, less freezing problem in Michigan. And then I use a 2,800 cubic inch air tanks, jumbo air tanks, which gives you ample air, extra air, more than other people. You give it the air, then it can do what it's got to do. So I like it. It's a good system.
Well, this is actually lifting the trailer right off the floor right now.
Yep.
There's no load on it. No, when you lift them, they'll see how fast they dump and everything. The other thing is, with our trucks in this trailer, you can run one more axle than we have in Michigan. You're allowed 11. When this truck is hooked up to the trailer, we'll have 10. But with this configuration, we can gross 153,000 pounds. The truck and trailer weigh 52 to 53,000 empty, so we can legally scale 50 tons with no problem in this trailer. And if we put a 3-axle truck on there, we could go way past that. The max you're allowed in Michigan is 164,000 gross. So we could legally haul another 5 tons in this trailer if we had wood that weigh that, but we don't get that. I think the most we've ever had in one of these 53 footers is about 48.5 tons. So, and that was with We're just not getting that much weight that we could ever overload it. So.
I usually set these 38, 40, and then let the drivers play with them when they're on the scale and tune them in their way to get the right axle weight on.
A lot of air moving in there.
Watch how fast that air is gone.
I know.
With all the quick
Quick
releases,
releases,
the
yeah.
40 quick releases.
Yeah, we'll show here in a minute how that dumps.
That Page airlift was one of the finest airlifts out there.
I know it.
You know, I've got all the drawings.
It's a shame they went out of business.
Yeah. There's a few tires that.
Yeah, we'll put new ones on when we get back to the shop. So now we'll lift the air axles and you'll see how quick these come up.
Ready?
Yep. We're back up there again.
Everyone's going, fourth one's just right. That fourth one's the longest line back.
So every trailer, every time they come to a corner, they have to lift all these axles in order to turn the corner. Once it gets straightened out, they got to drop them again. It takes a lot of air. That's why there's 7 tanks on this trailer.
And once they get this trailer out of my shop and get it lettered, they'll probably film it again.
Yeah, we'll show it all done.
It's dirty in here.
We'll get it cleaned up and put lettering on it and put our truck up against it and show a video of that. But this answered a lot of questions. A lot of people have just, you know, they don't understand or been around this stuff, so this helps a lot.
Yep.